Okay, I'm testing the engine compression here. I warmed the motor up just a little bit, took all the spark plugs out, so everything's going to be even for each test. I've got this adapter that I made for another car I did some time ago because my Snap-on tester kit doesn't include a connection for a Model A type spark plug. And I have my charger right here hooked up, and I just switched the charger on long enough to do the test because I want the engine to crank at the same speed for every plug. And you can see here I did the first plug and I got 55 pounds of pressure, so that's good. And here you can see I've written it down. I've got number 2 tested, and again 55 pounds, right on the money. So that's going to be really great if they all come out even. This little pin right here, it screws into the front of the timing case right here. And I just unscrewed it to find top dead center, turned it around and pushed it in and rocked the motor until the pin found the hole in the timing gear. Now I had to sharpen this pin. It was much blunter. I sharpened its end because I believe that that timing gear in there has been replaced and it doesn't have quite the depression of the original timing pin. Once I sharpened it, the pin fell into the hole with certainty so that I knew it was in place. And then I did not trust that alone. I removed the number 1 spark plug and looked in with a pin light to make sure the cylinder was at the very top of its travel. And I could see the cylinder easily with a pin light. And I could see that it was at the top of its travel, and also glanced at both valves to make sure they were closed. So that's how I found top dead center. And I did that before doing any other work to the ignition system. Okay. Right away on this distributor, one of the first things I can see is that it's got a lot of play in the shaft. So that means it has a worn bushing that needs to be replaced. If I don't replace that bushing, the car will run, but it will have a variance in the point gap and in the dwell. It was frozen in place. So I had to WD-40 that again and again and slowly work it out, just being careful not to damage anything. Okay, it's coming on the second notch. From there's full retard, pull it down 1 notch, 2 notches, and there it comes on. So I think I can be happy with that. And we'll call that good. Okay, to clean out this jet hole, what I've done, or the surface, not the hole, but the surface that it mates to, which I was concerned about this plastic washer here, the seal. I've taken a spot weld bit that's used for cutting spot welds, and I have several of them. And I've taken the centering bit out of the spot weld bit, and I just took it, and it just happens to have a surface, a cutting surface, flat cutting surface, that's just the same as that jet. Just a stroke of fortune there. And so I set it in there just so, and pressed hard with one finger against the jet, and reached in and pinched it and turned it by hand. And I kept turning it, and you can, I don't know, you probably can't see the debris, but there's debris from it both in the hole in the bottom of the bowl, and then the hole itself is much improved. It's not a perfect machine surface. I wish it was, but I'm not going to get that. But it's just a whole lot better than it was, and I think that gasket might be able to seal against it now. I'm not sure about that, but I think it will be able to. I'll blow it out through this hole so that I don't get the debris. I'll turn it upside down and blow it out so I don't get my cleaning debris inside my jet that's in this well, because this jet that's in this well was the one piece I could not take out. It's frozen in there, but it functions well. I've blown air through it, and so I think it should be fine. Okay. I've downloaded a little information off the internet, and I can see this is my air mixture screw here, and I can see that this jet is the jet for that idle circuit, this long jet, and there's a hole right here in the carburetor, and I picked this tip up. I saw it originally on YouTube. Guys that are older than I that have worked on these and know these carburetors well. But I saw him talking about this, and so I went to this, and this, because he didn't have the carburetor apart, so it's hard to know exactly what he's saying if you've never done one of these cars. With this, I can see exactly the jet he was talking about. So it's this jet, and what I want to do is, this air mixture screw, if this doesn't seat here, then I'm going to have a hard time keeping the idle adjusted on this thing. So in order to test whether it seats or not, I turned it until it's seated, turned it in until it's seated. Then I just put my finger over the hole inside the bore here of the carburetor, the idle hole, the hole that puts out the fuel air mixture for idle, and I blew on this. And I couldn't force any air through there, so I knew I was okay. Then I opened this a little and tried it again, and yes, it did work, and air went through. So I think I'm seated okay on this air-fuel mixture jet here. This goes over here, like this. That goes in there like that. There we go. Okay, the kit I received, I didn't have they're not giving me a washer or a bushing for this, and I can see that it takes one because I got a picture of it right there on my computer, and so I'll just go to the old Wagner kit here, and I'll get out the right size washer for this, a brass washer, so it can seal and keep any gasoline from coming out. Okay, we're all rebuilt here and ready to go. Okay, I've taken this nut here that encases the water pump packing off, and you can see I'm pulling the old packing off. I just stopped to grab the camera to show what I'm doing here. I set a snap-on pick tools that come in real handy, and I've cleaned the old packing out, and this shaft here where the packing rides, it's not perfect, but it's better than I expected it to be. Okay, I got two packings in here that I'm putting on, and needless to say, I've got the seam 180 degrees from packing to packing, just kind of common sense there. And I got some Lintham grease I'll spread on there, and then I'll run this nut back up on there. Okay, she's seems to be running pretty good. Started really well. It's kind of loud because that's the muffler right there. I don't have a 4-pan in there, so it's right there below me. And I'm sure she's going to need a little tweaking up. You know, take her out, and after I get the brakes fixed, take her out and drive her up and down some hills and try to dial her in. But she seems to be doing pretty well. I'll give her a little gas here. The water pump is staying dry, so that's a good sign. And the carburetor is dry, so that's another good sign. I'm not a Model A guy. So I don't know exactly how these are supposed to be, but I gotta say that I'm pretty happy with her so far. I think it's gonna be fun to get her out there, and that's what I'm anxious to do, is get her out and drive her up some hills and see how she pulls, and then I'll really know what her power ability is, and I can dial her in from there. And I really enjoy doing that kind of work. I'm sure there's going to be some little things crop up driving her too. I mean, I can't imagine sitting for 23 years and not having some things here and there, bugs that need to be worked out. Just when I said that, she skipped a beat. I got her up on wheel casters, or I'd put her in gear. Okay, I guess it's time to start working on the brakes now. Shut the fuel off and disconnect the battery. There we go. Alrighty. She's a coming along.